Hi, my name is Mariette Abraham, CEO and founder of Qina, the hub for data and insights in personalized nutrition. So this year I'm trying something new. I'm trying to do a bit more video and try and get out of, perfection mode and just starting to do it and share my knowledge, share my insights in terms of the personalized nutrition industry, which I'm really passionate about. And of course, I'd like to also get more people to know about it and really understand how to leverage technology to improve health. And so for this first video, what I'm going to do is talk you through what we at Qina have kind of analyzed the trends and looked ahead in terms of what we would expect to see this year in terms of the market shifts and developments within the industry. So the first thing that I want to say is that in terms of personalized nutrition, of course, it is a growing industry, but we always need to make clear so that there's kind of a common understanding that there are a lot of companies that are claiming to be personalized at the moment, simply because it's like a trendy word, I guess. But when we at Qina talk about personalized nutrition, we really look at companies and solutions that are really rooted in the science, that are really personalized to the individual. So it really puts the consumer or the user need first, and their goals and the desires first. And then also, of course, there needs to be some kind of a feedback loop in terms of how that information is then used to provide feedback to the individual, and that feedback needs to then be able to have some kind of a health outcome. Now, the health outcome can be it needs to be measurable. So either you can measure it and see what the impact the dietary lifestyle or dietary advice has on your blood markers or your gut or whatever the case might be, also looking at in terms of behavioral changes. So whether you are increasing your vegetable intake, for example, or whether you are reducing your salt intake. So it needs to have some kind of a measurable outcome, okay? And that's generally how we look at it at Qina. So that's why we have created this curated database of personalized nutrition solutions, because generally people find it quite difficult to separate kind of the marketing personalization with the real world personalization. So getting back to the trends, this is what we kind of think in terms of what to expect for 2023. So the first one is around chronic diseases management and this rising reimbursement of digital health solutions that we expect. And the reason for this is that while there is a lot of focus on prevention and health and wellness, a lot of people, I would say across the globe, are suffering from some kind of chronic illness. And this can be high blood pressure, it can be diabetes. And so what we are seeing is that although there's a lot of marketing for prevention and wellness, actually most of the growth is happening within the chronic disease segment. And that is in terms of providing telehealth, it's providing coaching, it's providing, behavioral changes, support and nudges, and so we are seeing a lot of focus within that area, and that's definitely where we see 2023 will have more uptake, simply because there is such a great demand for these kind of services. And of course, many of the insurance companies, payers, are looking at reimbursing some of these platforms that provide these kind of telehealth, wellness, shopping, or smart shopping kind of platforms. And so definitely this is one area that we will see growing. We'll see more incentives, we'll see more rewards that will be given to individuals and consumers who are looking to adopt those healthier health styles. So definitely trend number one is an increase or rise in these chronic disease management platforms, as well as the reimbursement of these solutions. The second one is really around affordability and quality of life. Now, there's no question that, of course, the rising inflation, the high cost of living is impacting how people are actually personalizing their diets at this point. And that's simply because the budget is for food is smaller, and so people are selecting what it is that they can afford rather than simply selecting maybe the healthiest option. And so we need to be very understanding of that. We need to be very empathetic towards that, but we will definitely see that personalization, especially for this year, which is not going to be an easy year, is that people will increasingly look for bargains, for example. They'll bulk shop, and they'll definitely start cutting down on the luxuries in terms of their personalized habits. And so that will definitely influence the personalized nutrition market in this trend for this year for sure. The third trend we are seeing is this uptake of personalized nutrition technology. So personalized nutrition solutions have been around for a while already, but of course we do see very low adherence rates. We did find that a lot of these solutions are really targeted towards the worried well, and that's definitely a shift that we are starting to see now. So what we are starting to see is that there are more solutions that are kind of at the edge of kind of medical nutrition and wellness. So whether you are kind of managing your blood pressure or your high cholesterol levels, and so really the technologies are being developed in that if you, for example, have high blood pressure or high cholesterol, these are not conditions that will make you end up in hospital, today as a general rule. So this really requires the adoption of healthy habits, and technologies can be leveraged to not only help to access those evidence-based information, but also can help to healthcare practitioners to remote monitor their patients as well. So for example, if you think about, your blood pressure is going high, that alerts get sent to your doctor or your healthcare practitioners. You receive a call or a message, hey, maybe you should do this, maybe you should go for a walk, maybe you should relax, maybe you should do some breathing. And so all these different interventions can then be provided kind of remotely or can be given to you via whatever device you are using. And so what we are seeing is the shift also in pairing kind of a nutrition solution or a nutrition technology with the food as well. So what we are seeing, for example, in cholesterol, we know that fiber is one of these kind of ingredients or nutrients that can really help to reduce cholesterol level. And so what we are seeing is these newer solutions that are pairing up a healthcare practitioner solution which provides coaching and maybe evidence-based messages together with a nutritional supplement, and then also a remote device that can track your blood pressure remotely. And so that's what we are starting to see, and it's starting to come together in a more cohesive ecosystem, and that's definitely a trend that we will guess will move forward in the next year as well. The next one is in terms of biomarkers. Here we are seeing an explosion of solutions that are focused on longevity, on menopause, and definitely on metabolic health. And that's unsurprising because these are really, really high on the interest, I would say, of consumers. And so what we are seeing that these solutions can include supplements, they can include education platforms, they can include DIY blood testing kits at home where you can track your hormones and your metabolites as well. And that's definitely where we see a definite shift from having to go to your doctor every so often to now having these kind of kits and these solutions even delivered remotely or to your home, so that you can then can access information, but then also have this kind of remote monitoring service at the same time as well. So that's definitely one to watch out for as more and more people realize that they are really, responding differently to different interventions or their lifestyle, and that really this real world evidence is kind of at the forefront of people. It's like, I don't want to know in general how it impacts people in general. I really want to know how this, supplement, ingredient, food, or intervention will impact me. And that's definitely what we will see going into 2023. Trend number 5 is really about big tech. So here we can see a definite move of kind of the big players such as Google that are partnering more and more with startups within the personalized nutrition industry. And so we will expect this year to see more and more not only engagement, but maybe also analytics and insights into how these different players are sharing information and can, provide that personalized advice all the way from maybe even from farm to your fridge, for example, and how that impacts your eating habits and your shopping habits and how you live your life and how that will impact on your health as well. So with big players such as Google, the Apples are definitely making headway into this area and definitely we'll start seeing more and more erosion of the or filtering in of big tech within the personalized nutrition industry that we haven't really seen before. Number 6 is really around research. Now, when we look at especially kind of the general trend within research, it was always really very much focused at the university level, or at a hospital level. You needed to go somewhere. It's very controlled, and now we are starting to see the shift also following COVID, that there's more and more of these decentralized trials that are more focusing on consumer studies. So you're looking at consumers taking a specific ingredient or product or food and then measuring that with a digital technology such as a wearable, such as a smartwatch or a ring, or even home testing kits, to see how that impacts their biomarkers on a day-to-day level. And so that is really a newer way of really engaging and including really consumers into the research and the new product development process, because consumers actually have a say in terms of what are the problems that they are really worried about, or what are the problems that they really would like to solve, and how can we leverage technologies to bring them not only closer to the consumer, but also help to provide insight and feedback back to the company in order to produce new products that are really suitable to a subsegment of customers, for example. The other thing that we're seeing also is this big shift in that women have been, for so long excluded from research, that more and more companies are realizing now that was a huge gap, for so many years, that a lot of companies are now starting to look at what is the impact of, this kind of dietary intervention or food ingredient supplement on especially women's physiology or impact on their health, so to speak. And so we see more and more clinical trials, decentralized trials, focusing on women's health and how specific products impact the women's physiology. So basically, just to conclude, I'm just checking my screen. What you can expect for this year is definitely an uptick and a growing interest in personalized nutrition. It will be hampered and it will be, challenging in terms of the current economic climate that we are living in right now. But we will definitely see that there are certain shifts and patterns that will come out within 2023, and we are sure to bring them to you. Thank you so much. Till next time. Bye-bye.